Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Tuesday to you. I pre-recorded this video, uh, you know, almost a month before it had to be because it's the day after we get back from our skiing vacation, and I wasn't sure if I'd be up to snuff and have a video all ready to go. So I'm working ahead, and that's part of my stories and stamps today. So the stamp set that we're featuring, or that I'm featuring today, is called Lighting the Way, and it's about fireflies. Now, I don't know if you have fireflies in your part of the world, but they're pretty magical. So let's take a look. Oh, well, sorry for the delay there. I had a technical issue. All of a sudden, I didn't have a camera going on this close-up. So here is the Lighting the Way, and it has four beautiful greenery images, three great sayings. These ones are great for giving the light on the fireflies, as is this. And then take a peek. There are some fantastic dies, including this great big lantern die. Now, I grew up with a lantern like this, and maybe you did too, and we had one for camping, and it's just an iconic lantern. Then you have a great big firefly die, three little ones, little detailed ones. And what else do I see? Oh yeah, that cuts out the bigger firefly. So I'm going to show you what I've done. And I do this a lot when I start with the stamp. I just die cut a bunch of stuff and I play a little bit. So I did a silver. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go with clean and simple. So I did a silver one, I did a red one, and then I did a green one. And then I cut them apart. So I cut the red one apart and made a red and silver one. So I think that looks really cool. Um, and then I did a bunch of fireflies in black, in silver, in gold, in vellum. I stamped some, and then I decided, well, okay, what am I going to do? And I'll show you what I did here. Okay, so I took a crushed curry base, and we're going to use the, before I make a card, I just want to play a little bit. So this is the body, and then here is a vellum overlay that's going to go like so. And then the next piece is the vellum wing, which goes like so. So what I like to do is, let me just turn this around. I've got a silicone mat here, which is a great little tool. It's great if you use hot glue guns too, but I like using it. A little bit of liquid adhesive, flatten it up with a sponge, and then instead of putting it on the vellum, I'm going to put it on the body of the dragonfly, just like so, and then move it to a cleaner dry spot. Oops, I'm not doing a very good job. I'll fumble fingers this morning. And now I'm just going to lay that on, and then you see a little bit of that crushed curry going through, which is quite lovely. And then we're going to take the wings and just put a little bit of glue in the middle. And there, you can just flip them up a little bit. You can add a little Wink of Stella for glitter if you want, but that is really a super cute thing. And then I thought, we'll see what the difference is. So now I have two of these, and I thought maybe it would be a good idea to grab a black blends. So I'm going to take the black blends and just do the antennae to give a little bit of definition. There, and then his legs. And I'm not sure, that's the thing, when you have two, you can see which one you like the best. This gives a contrast that the wings are ethereal, and I kind of like it. There. But this one looks really great too, just all, so that's just, sometimes you have to play to see what you like better, if you want it more realistic or if you want it more artsy. I did the same thing with the die cut here. I colored it. I used blends on his little butt, black on the wings, and then I did Wink of Stella, which turned out a little bit gray. And yeah, so it's different. This one's just been stamped in black and a little bit of So Saffron on the tail. Here's another little guy. You could do the same thing. And then here I have them in vellum, and I really do like them in vellum. I find them just really, really pretty. And then you could, let's have a look. I'm going to grab a yellow blend. So here I have my Daffodil Delight blends, and I'm just going to do in here a little bit brighter. And maybe on the vellum, let's move this guy. And I have to say I've been procrastinating. That's just a little touch of yellow. Maybe we'll go with the darker and see if that looks good. It's nice to give that little bit of a firefly look to it, that there's a little bit of yellow. You can also use the stamp to stamp on it or to stamp underneath, and we'll do that in a minute. So you can use that to stamp underneath the firefly, or you can also use it to stamp behind the lantern. So I want to do a little bit more creating with the firefly, so, and mixing and matching. Black, white, silver, not sure. Okay, so let's go with a black body. And I've been procrastinating with this video, and I don't know why. It was sometimes, as a demonstrator, you can feel like a little less than sometimes, where you think your work isn't good enough. Or yeah, so I wasn't sure if what I was going to do today was nice enough, so I was just putting it off. So here we have that with the black body, and then I thought it would be fun. I don't know if I have any gold wings. Oh, I do have gold wings. Yeah. See? And then we've got this beautiful metallic dragonfly. I didn't do a good job with his body here. So let's add just a little bit of adhesive to here. And there we go. I like mixing and matching metals. So that looks really nice. Look, kind of a funky firefly. See? Now, we'll do one more with white. And then on a gold body, I've got all my pieces. I seem to have lost the gold body. Let me look for it. Okay, I found it. So I'm going to go with gold, black, and, oh, I just dropped it. I'm getting sticky fingers. Sorry, guys. Let's flip that around here. And this time I'm just going to add some adhesive right on here. I'm not going to use the sponge. Look, now it's stuck to my finger. I'm just going to work with it here. There. See, but now you see how the glue is seeping through a little bit? I shouldn't have been stubborn. I should have used my sponge. But we're going to go with the stubborn streak and add just a touch of glue here. And now we have, yeah, but you can see, good thing this stuff, the glue does dry clear, which is really nice. Now let's put it on some white so you can see our different. Look how cute they are. Oh, you know what? This one didn't have enough glue. It just came off. Okay, let's fix it. There. And now we're going to build our card. There. And at the end, I have to show you a little trick that I saw from a fellow Dutch demonstrator. So there we have our big fireflies and a bunch of other pieces and die cuts for branches and things. Here's another vellum one. And yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? All right, let's move all this aside. And I'm going to start with a large Memories and More card. And it measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So then I took a piece of, I think it's called Life's an Adventure paper, or The Journey, and it has stars on one side and then it has Mountain View on the other. And we're going to just adhere that, and I wanted it to be as big as possible, so it's covering the full card front. So I cut it at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I should look it up to find out exactly what the name of this paper is. All the links, all the products that I use in the video will be in the description of my video. So if you want to shop with me, you can. but only if you live in Canada or if you live in Europe. Stampin' Up! Has markets that we can't cross, so a Canadian can't sell to the States and I can't sell in Australia. But in Europe, I can. So that does give me quite a few options. I'm lucky because I live in 2 countries and I can do that. Okay, now I have a piece of white that I want to be in the middle. That's going to kind of be the base for all my pieces. And I should give you the measurements of that. It is 3 inches by 5. Okay, and we're going to put that down. I could have maybe sponged. I'm just going to keep it simple, and then after I make a card, sometimes I go and try to make other versions of it. But right now, I'm just going to stick to what my original plan was, and we're going to go for it. Now, I shouldn't have done this. I should have stamped first because I want to show you something. Oh well, sometimes that's the way it goes. So 3 by 5. Now I'm going to put this lantern kind of off the side a little bit. So I need to stamp a yellow for the inside of the lantern right there. So I think we'll go with the bigger one, big circle here. And then a great way to do this is to use your Stamparatus, and I'll show you why. Instead of eyeballing it, I'm going to grab my Stamparatus, which is a stamp positioning tool. And since this is a rubber stamp, I do not need this black foam insert. I'm going to put this down like that. And this is exactly where my lantern is going to go. So I'm going to lay my stamp right on top. That's where it's going to go. And then I'm going to close it up. There. Now I can move the lantern, but I know that my thing is going to be in the right spot. I'm using crushed curry, so it's kind of bright, but I want a bright lantern. There. And I'm not, well, I'll press a little harder. There. Look. And if you want it to be a little bit more blurry, then, even though this is white cardstock, I'm going to take a water painter and just do that. Just soften it up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to put the, yeah, that looks great. I'm going to put the lantern over top of my card. I hope it turns out, but you never know when you make a card. Some cards are nicer than other cards. Some really steal your heart, and others are just, oh, okay, it's nice. And we all have different tastes. So one card is going to really impress someone, and another card might not as much. That's why it's nice to be able to make a card that's specifically designed for someone. You know what they like. There we go. So that's all ready to go on here. And I am already thinking I should have waited with this because I have some greenery that's going to go around. So I'm not going to press on that side of the lantern because I have some stamps that I see and I want to tuck them in underneath from behind. And here's the other one. So it's still worked out. I don't know if I like that one in there. Okay, you know what? It's time to decide. I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on the tip of this. So I can slide it in a little bit here. There. And now this one. There. Kind of gives the illusion that this lantern is sitting. I just pressed it down. I shouldn't have done that, Jackie. I haven't decided if I want this as well. You know what? I'm going to trim this a little bit. Here. And I'm going for it. There. Okay. I like that. Now I have our flying little, and I also stamped thanks for lighting the way. So before I do anything else, I want to lay out my pieces and see how I want it to go. And then I also know that I want a few of these little black guys. I like them in black because they just show like they're just, yeah, in the night. They're little shadows, sort of, so to speak. Okay. And just grab, this was just a scrap. I save my big pieces of white so that I can use them. And they always come in handy. So I'm going to trim it down to about 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to give myself a little room because I don't know if I'm going to notch it or not. So let's take a look. So with this card, I'm basically taking you into my creative process because I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a bit of an idea. See, that looks nice kind of just all the way across as a banner and just popping it up. So I'm just going to leave that for a minute. And I thought I would incorporate this stamp here, that whimsy. So let's do that. And I'm going to stamp it in smoky slate so that it's just really light. Okay, before I stamp this, I thought, oh, well, what if I change it up and I put the vellum, it just makes it a whole lighter card. So, like, you can understand. And then here, this one has the silver and the gold. That looks really pretty too. But this definitely gives a nighttime feel when I use the black fireflies. Okay, so I've got this, or he could be flying this way. He's coming to the light. We're not sure. But I think he's going to be flying away. And again, I could have used the Stamparatus, but I'm going to just take a chance. There. Yeah, that looks cute. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Now it's time to just make up my mind and go for it. I'm using some glue dots. Let's see, pokey tool. This could be popped up as well. I'm going to use no. When you use vellum, I'll use glue dots for the black ones. When you use vellum, you shouldn't use glue dots. You're going to see them. It's going to be there. So then you want to use the sponge and the liquid adhesive. Here. And I like popping up the wings a little bit so that they look like they're flying. That looks good. And let's get this guy with a little bit of adhesive. So here, I think, I still have enough. I'm just going to press this right onto my glue here. Oh, look at that. Well, there's enough on here, but I think, okay, we'll try it. Your adhesive will dry up like this, and then you can just roll it off, and then you have a clean silicone mat again. If you really want it super clean, you can rinse it off in the sink. And I'm just going to put this little guy, right, he's coming close to the light. And then this one, we're going to pop up with a couple of black dimensionals, little minis. And then we're going to add a few little gems and pop up the saying, and then our card is done. And then I want to show you one little trick with the lantern that gives you some more. Let's see. There. And then this one will pop up with 2 white dimensionals. And then the card would totally change again if you used black lettering instead. So all those little details really do make a difference. there. And I want to add a few of these. These are iridescent rhinestones, so they catch, you can even, little tail, flickering tail. That's kind of cute. I like that. That gives the illusion of some fireflies that you can't see in the dark. And maybe in that. Yeah, I think that looks good. I'm really happy with it. I hope you like it as well. Now, as for the trick, if you take this lantern and then you do it in black and you cut off the bottom, you have a whole different kind of like a patio light. And so Helene Spickmans van Bruggen, she did this, and I just thought it was really great. So I'm going to recreate her card as well. I hope that you enjoyed the video and that you love this set as much as I do. There's so much more that you can do with it. I've just started, but I thought I'm going to start and not make a whole pile first before I make a video. So sometimes you can get stalled by wanting to do too much. So I hope that you enjoy my small efforts. And if you love my video, give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel. I would love to read your comments, and I would love to be your demonstrator. Have a super day. Happy stamping. Bye.